It's day 3 here at Enterprise Connect in Orlando, Florida, and I'm with Tom Arbuthnot to get the latest and greatest headlines from everything Microsoft. Welcome, Tom. How's it going?
Yeah, really good. It's been a really busy 3 days, but loads of exciting news.
Absolutely. I mean, there's been some really big trends here, haven't there, this week? And you know, there's certainly one that everyone's talking about. So let's start with that one. What do you think it is, Tom?
It's got to be AI, right? Everybody had an AI announcement in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely, they have. So, you know, talk me through, from your world at Empowering.Cloud. You know, it's very Microsoft centric, but I know you cover all the other vendors as well. So, talk me through what you found particularly interesting.
Yeah, so the interesting thing with Microsoft is obviously they've made a big investment in OpenAI, so they have that tight relationship. So they did actually announce before the show this Copilot concept, which they're going to have an AI, generative AI that can create content for you. So create PowerPoint, create Word documents, help you with emails. It's really early days, like it's not in anybody's hands yet. But if you look at ChatGPT and what that's doing, you can start to imagine what generative AI can do. And I think what's interesting about Microsoft and unique is they have all the data. They've got all the data in SharePoint, they've got all the data in email, they've got your calendars, they've got your meetings, they've got your meeting transcripts. So potentially, while lots of people can get to ChatGPT and LLMs and big data models, Microsoft have this unique set of data for the enterprise that they can leverage with AI.
Yeah, it certainly feels like they've got a head start in the world of generative AI. And we saw in the Microsoft keynote some of those examples, real-life examples of how that's going to work.
Yeah, things like in a meeting, mid-meeting, you could ask questions of what happened so far in the meeting and it'll mine the transcript. But it could even do things like sentiment analysis of what's happened in the meeting. And a really interesting concept about following a meeting you never attend. So if you can't make a meeting, you can click follow and the AI will send you a summary of the key points, when you were mentioned, who said what. But again, if you want more, you can go back and ask the AI and it will mine the transcript to give you the answers. So maybe we're going to get away from doing quite so many meetings and we can get AI to give us the summary.
Do you know what? That was one of my favorite features, the follow meeting, because I'm always like, there's a meeting I want to get to, or I have to go crawling through the recorder to find the meeting recording. But actually, that's really cool. It's very simple to use, and just getting that summary of what happened in the meeting might actually save me sitting there and watching the meeting afterwards.
Yeah, and normally I'd be quite cynical about this kind of stuff, but playing with ChatGPT, I do things like podcast summaries on it, and it's pretty legit. It does a really good job of getting to the key points. And I mean, this is the early days, it's only going to get better and better, so I think it's genuinely going to be really useful.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, I mean, lots more. What else was on your list? And there was something around BYOD that everyone found quite interesting.
Yeah, at the end of the Microsoft keynote, very kind of low key at the end, Microsoft talks about having a BYOD device option for Teams. So Crestron is the first vendor in the space, low compute Android device, more aggressive price point, plug into the laptop, and then having a Rooms light type experience from that BYOD. So that's kind of bridging a gap in the Microsoft ecosystem where you've also got Microsoft Teams rooms, but there are a whole bunch of rooms where that price point might not fit, where a BYOD Teams solution might come into play.
Yeah, really interesting. What else did you find particularly exciting this week?
There was some good phone announcements. So they had phone hotline, which is the ability to pick up a Teams phone, have it auto dial, a virtual receptionist where you have a Teams display essentially with a big button to press, and that brings up a video call directly to somebody. So just nice little innovations like that. One that's really interesting for first-line worker, frontline worker is shared device license. So an $8 license on an Android device that makes it into a phone and makes it into a walkie-talkie. So you can have an Android device that's ruggedized and in retail for a really aggressive price point shared between multiple people.
Yeah, really practical solutions to real-life problems, right? I mean, I love that about Microsoft. They really are fixing and filling in those gaps in our work lives.
Yeah, I feel like we've done the core knowledge worker scenario is done, like Teams and the other UCASs can pretty much cover that. Now we're getting into these more interesting use cases. So another one, kind of my last big takeaway, was the click to call. So Microsoft using Azure Communication Services to bring video and voice calling into the website. So you can have a customer website, one button click, WebRTC video in the website, and it brings it back to Teams on the back end.
Yeah, again, another way into the Teams ecosystem, and just being able to kind of connect people a little bit easier. So,
definitely.
Hey, fantastic, Tom. And we've got our roundup of everything Microsoft Teams coming up in the next week or so. We're recording it next week, aren't we? So
yeah. We've got a lot to go through. There's a whole bunch more smaller announcements, different announcements. So we'll go through it in the pod and go into all the detail and get some opinions from our subject matter experts as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Enjoy the rest of the show, Tom.
Cool. Thanks, Rob.